What's going down, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Soul Effect, Rashali from the RnB Talk Show. I got a brand new guest on here. His name is J-Stylz. And this brother right here, let me tell you something. He's been in the game for a long time. When you think about J-Stylz, you think about his live performances with Teddy Riley and Blackstreet. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, and I know you see this face every city, around the world and stuff, and I'm going to tell you that this brother here's a blessing. So, uh, I'm gonna let him, introduce himself, and we can talk about your history, the music, the how you got in the game, and everything.
Well, yeah, like you said, world. My name is Jay Styles. I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Family moved to Columbus, Ohio. So shout out to both of those places. But I actually moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, when I was 6 years old, and so this is the place where I grew up in, where I have my music background and my gospel roots and everything is here in Charlotte. So shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, if I had a button, whatever. But yeah, man. So you said you wanted to hear how I started.
Yeah,
Ah,
matter of fact, yeah, what was your only inspirations growing up as a kid?
well, it's crazy because my mother and father literally walked around the house singing. They played gospel music all the time. Like my dad, he'll tell you he's not really a singer, but he sung in a choir. My mom and dad actually had like a little group, and it was a gospel group, but it was made up of couples. Like everyone in
Oh
the group
wow.
actually were married couples, and they they still have a picture at the my parents' house. They had lime green on with big old. My dad had a big old white bow tie and all that. But it was again this. My parents are still together. My mother has Alzheimer's, but my dad takes care of her. But uh, anyone want to know why a lot of my records do have a lot of love content, or even when I write for other artists, why they have a lot of love content, of course my family, my parents' background and the love that they had for each other and for the family. But like I said, my mother, I was 3 or 4 years old and I couldn't remember my telephone number, my address. So my mother would sing it to me. She would put
Oh
it in a
wow.
song and put it and sing it to me. So I guess that was the start of it. They put pots and pans down because they heard me banging on objects. So I would grab spoons and do that. The next thing you know, I begged for some drums and they bought me a play set. I broke it the first day of Christmas, and I told my dad
Ah man.
I need some real drums. So he wound up buying me some real drums, and then the piano. So I always talk about this and how the gift of when I vocal train uh, kids and I talk to their parents, and I always tell them, you don't have to completely push them so hard, but make it available. My parents had a piano in the house, and one of my older sisters would take piano lessons, and I'd be in the other room playing with my GI Joe, He Man, whatever, or a little basketball, whatever, not even paying attention. But they're in the other room playing piano, and when the piano teacher left, and my sister, whenever went about her way, I would go to the piano and play. I'm 4 or 5 years old. I would go play what she was trying to learn how to play, and
Wow.
that's when my parents was like, okay, wait a minute, there might be something there or whatever. I still don't think they really noticed it. Fast forward, we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I met the first Sunday I met a guy named Fred Heath, which is still my best friend now. I was 6 years old. He was five and a half. Um, and later on, he got me in my first R&B group.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, my first real R&B group, but in high school, ninth grade year, I'm putting up my drumsticks. This is the beginning of the beginning. I'm putting up my drumsticks, and a guy asked me. He said, "Hey man, I heard you humming. You sing?" I was like, "I mean, I don't know. I was 10 years old playing for the piano for the kids choir. Uh, and I sing in the youth choir, but I don't sing no lead songs. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I harmonize because I play piano." He said, tell you what, man, my dad, he said, my homeboy got one of the guys in my group. got kicked out for fighting, and we don't know when he's coming back, and we got a talent show in a week and a half. You think you can join us? I was like, man, my parents don't let me listen to R&B. Nah. He said, no. It's how do I say goodbye to yesterday? I said, oh, okay. It's like, man, my parents still not gonna let me. Um, um, Still not gonna let me stay after school. But here's how God works. My dad got laid off his job, so his new part time job was a custodian at my school. I had to
Wow.
stay after school. I had to stay after school.
Wow.
So I wound up being able to practice with them. And so I practice with them, and next thing you know, I take the cassette home. That kind of tells you my age. I take take the cassette home and to find out, oh man, we're singing it and harmonized, but we're not singing it like they were singing it on the cassette. So I went to the keyboard, I found the chords. It's like, how do I tell them it ain't wrong, but it ain't all the way right? I'm
Yeah.
the youngest guy in the group, the new guy. And I was like, okay. I was like, hey, why don't we try this? And we sung it. He was like, oh, that's dope, that's dope. Well, I don't know if they said dope back then, but we wound up going to the bathroom, using the bathroom. We washing our hands, taking a break, and the lead singer does this. Bear in mind, I used to play the drums for my mom had a group also and another gospel group that they toured all over the Carolinas, and I got paid, pretty decently, $100 per little show or whatever at the age
No
of 10.
man.
Yeah, at the age of
Yeah.
10, shoot.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they had great singers, saxophone player, and all that. Great. I didn't pay attention to the singers, whatever. I was having fun. I was a kid,
Yeah.
but it all came back to me when I heard this guy when we were in after we were rehearsing. He's washing our hands, and he says, "And don't take be my sunshine after the rain." And I was like, a voice can do that?
Wow.
Oh my god! I gotta do that. I gotta do that. Forget girlfriends, forget football, because that's what I thought. Forget the Cowboys this year. Like I gotta do that. I gotta do that. So I snuck. Remember, I told you I wasn't allowed to listen to R&B. I snuck
Yeah.
everything in the house, and I recorded. I recorded commercials. One of my favorite commercials. God bless the dead. Tony Thompson from High Five. I like the Sprite in you.
Frank
It's so
Rusty,
refreshing.
yeah.
Yep. I recorded everything, and I would have to sing in my house with my parents around. I used to have to hum it because I couldn't sing the lyrics because the lyrics had sex. It was R&B. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, man, that's how it actually started, bro.
Wow, man. I tell you, man. I tell you, back in those days when black music was advertised, whenever artists crossed over, it was, you see them doing McDonald's commercial, KFC, Sprite all the time because anybody that grew up back in those days, Coca-Cola, Sprite, and McDonald's, and KFC, every now and then Burger King was part of the black community when it came to TV commercials. You
Hmm.
see like the jingles and stuff. So, and I tell you, that's dope, man. You don't see it no more now in 2025, unfortunately, and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So, like in the year 2000, now correct me on this one, you auditioned for Teddy Riley like in 2004?
Oh, so I met Teddy in 2000.
Okay.
Um, that was a long story. Well, to make it short, I was working at Rooms to Go,
Oh,
a
okay.
furniture place, right? Rooms to Go furniture place, and I just had a baby, my oldest daughter, and I got a call said, "Hey man, Harvey Austin wants to take you to meet Teddy Riley today." Now, bear in mind, this was the biggest sale day. It was 2000, the first day of 2000, and at any
Wow.
furniture spot and car dealership, you can't leave. That's the number one sale day. What are we talking about? New Year's Day.
Right.
So you have to have a doctor's note or you have to have something to leave. So I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna tell my boss, I gotta go. I gotta meet Teddy Riley. I gotta go. So I go in there and I was like, hey man, you guys know I sing, right? You never heard anybody sing like me around here. Like And he's like, I can't let you go, man. I just had a baby, so I'm like, man, I need this money. So
Yeah.
I go in the bathroom again, and tears start falling down my eyes because I gotta go. I gotta go. So I wiped my eyes and I said, hey man, I gotta go. This might be it for I gotta go.
Yeah.
And so on my way out, he comes and grabs me by the arm. He said, when you get down there at 9 o'clock, call me. I'm going to clock you out just in case you need your job back. Trust me.
Wow.
I needed it back. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. So because it got crazy when I went down there. So anyways, I go down there 2000. We auditioned for him, me and my best friend Fred, the first dude I met when I came down here, who got me in the group, my best friend. We go down and he's like, man, because he was going to um put together a brand new group. I think it was a guy named Lonnie Lazelle, and my name was Stallion at that time.
That sounds like a stripper name right there.
Stallion and my boy Freddie Blaze. So anyways, we played our music. We just met the other two. So me and Freddie played our music. We played their music, and he asked me, "Do we have any questions?" I was like, "Yeah, man." Da da da. So he started playing. Teddy started playing, and this is what made, I guess, me be memorable in his mind. He started playing records that he did for Cisco. I remember the record that he played for Tyrese. I don't even remember the song, but he
Right.
played it, and I just started ad libbing on it. I just started. Teddy elbowed his boy like, "Look at this dude, man! Like, yo, he ready. Like, look at this dude." Like I ain't shy. I'm going. Yeah, I'm just going. Just singing. And he's like, "Yo, look at this dude." And so, anyways, next thing you know, Teddy asked for our number. He's like, "Yo, let me get the guy's number." And Harvey also, no, we know, because he thought he was gonna Teddy gonna boot him out the way and just go straight to the guys. And he's like, "Nah, bruh, nah, you come through me." So, because Teddy he's like, "I'm gonna have to cut this, situation short, this meeting short." We did 3 day meeting, but I'm gonna have to cut the meeting short. Michael just, I got some work to do. So we go back to Charlotte. We give our 3 week notice. We're coming back. Da 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 da. Boom, boom, boom. And there's no Google. There's no social media. There's no way to really get in contact with Teddy. And guess what? Our middleman dies that same
Oh
month.
man.
Harvey Austin, which was Teddy's old manager. He
Wow,
died.
my condolences. Wow.
Yeah, so that's the guy who took me there. I never even saw him after that. So we was in limbo. And to make a long story short, 2004, I was signed to another label in New York, lived in New York at that time, all this, whatever. 2004, I am singing for a wedding. I got a wedding I'm singing for, and I get a call from Kenny Quilla. Shout out to Kenny Quilla out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, who got, I think his way in the industry was cutting hair on the road for High Five.
Oh wow.
Anyways, he says, "Hey man, I know you don't remember me, but Teddy Riley is replacing somebody in Blackstreet. And I told him that I got your boy J-Stylz." He said, "Nah, that ain't the dude, man. I'm looking for this guy named Sherman." Course, my government name. I'm looking at that dude. Dope, man. Yo. Nah. He said, "No, it's the same dude. His name was Stallion, and you changed. You said I'm not calling a grown man Stallion. I'm gonna call you Styles." He said, "You every time I come, you got styles. You sing in different styles, gospel styles, light, airy voice, hard voice, all that. You got styles like a jumbo mixed together styles." So that became my name for years, for 4 years. So I said, "Man, bro, I gotta." He said, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Man, I gotta sing for a wedding in like 2 minutes." He said, "Can you quickly run in? I'm gonna call while you running in the bathroom. Stay on in the phone and just start singing a Blackstreet song." So I sung the song record, and I had to hurry up and run back. The next week, I was in Virginia, auditioning for real for Blackstreet,
Wow.
and I got in Blackstreet.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how life kind of goes in its own way and stuff. We think it's
Right.
over with. And then all of a sudden it begins. And I tell anybody, if you got talent, keep in mind that you might not get another opportunity like that with anybody in the future. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
yeah,
And I always tell people like stay ready. So I vocal train a lot of artists, and I have artists that come in with their maybe a manager will come in or a producer coming in, and they'll introduce me to an artist, and I'll tell them this. Oh, you sing? Okay, so sing something. And you can tell how brand new they are when they say this. Well, what do you want me to sing? And, huh?
yeah,
What?
right.
I don't know what you know. I don't know your voice. Stay ready, then you won't have to be ready. A real
Exactly.
singer has two songs or three or four or five to sing when they're asked to sing at all times. A rapper, no, dude, spit, rap, go, go. Can you write a song? I don't know. All right, you're not a writer, bro. All right, bye. Be ready. You don't have to stay ready. You don't have. I'm sorry. Be ready. You don't have to get ready.
There you
Be
go.
ready. You know, people say stay ready. You understand? No, be ready. You don't have to go get ready.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments. Big shouts to Miss V. You know, see the PR of the R&B Talk Show.
What's
Also,
up, Miss V?
there's an artist you produced. I see the comment name is Jay Gallant. Got a song called Green Light.
Oh yeah, what up, homie?
Yeah, you know, very talented kid. I see he's all over Instagram and stuff doing his thing. You know, and he'll send me a DM and stuff. And I was like, you know, big shouts to the kid. You know, he's definitely going places. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
I never seen. It's been a while since I saw the kid that's like not even adult yet got it all together. It's one thing vocally, but he sings. You know, it's like you know he already been here before.
yeah.
You
And
know,
the good thing about it, what I always tell people about him, he listens, man. This generation, the know-it-all generation. That's what I call it, the know-it-all generation. The answers,
yeah,
they got all the answers, and he's literally like, all right, what do you need? Okay, yes, okay, I got you. Okay, no real pushback. I love that kid. Like he's a real good kid. What up, Jay? Others, Jay.
yeah. Big shouts to Jay. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell you, you know, it's like I always get fickle when it comes to kids because you can tell it's rushed by parents and stuff. And sometimes it's kind of told them like, nah, they need to get somebody who is full of experience and they can
hmm
really. I hate the word groom, but I say mold. You know what I'm saying? Just mold a kid up and then it go from there and stuff.
Right, absolutely,
Now,
absolutely.
around this time, you know, you was writing songs for Key Sweat, Slim of 112, Bobby Jones, and a Japanese supergroup called Full Harmony. So now? So starting off with Key Sweat, how that situation came about?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, oh, I think shout out to my homie Jay Hot. I think Jay Hot actually introduced me on the writing and producer. We've of course Blackstreet, we've done, and me and Teddy, we've done millions of shows with Keith or whatever. And it's so funny. For the first couple of years, every time I saw Keith Sweat, I would shake his hand and I would introduce myself to him. He doesn't understand why I was doing that to him.
Wow.
I wanted him to know who I was. He knew. I guess you know what. I think he knew exactly what I was doing. He was all, man, get out of my face, man, whatever. But yeah, it's awesome, man. I mean, the first time I was in the studio with him in Atlanta, and I remember we were recording. Well, he actually was recording himself, and I was going to record him. And I was like, "Yo, bro, if you know how to record yourself, you know, rock out. I get it because that's what I love doing." And so he was recording, he was singing, and he was just like, "Man," and I think he was doing a record for a game show. I'm not sure, or some TV show, whatever. And anyways, he was like, "Man, I don't know if they're gonna like this." I said, "Bro, listen." They came to you for Key Sweat. Give them Key Sweat, nothing else. Like the whining, yeah, give them that, bro. That's why they came to you. Be
Yeah.
you. But yeah, he's a pioneer, and it's always an honor to work. Always been an honor to work with him, being his president. Of course, I shared the stage with him for like a year and a half. Yeah, it was awesome, awesome.
And then you worked with Slim of 112. Now, around this time, you know, he was. already sold out? Because I remember he was sold like it was like in '07, on up for a little bit. So what direction did he was trying to go in? As far as like being separate for that solo for that music.
It's crazy because I actually I actually wrote the records. Me and a producer and another female, we did those records. I was in New Jersey. I was living in New Jersey. I wasn't even in the same spot was
Oh wow.
as he was. So I remember the engineer who mixed this record. Actually, I think it was Dave Anthony. Shout out to Dave Anthony. But he called me back in. If you listen to it, if you familiar with my voice, if you listen to "Leave You Alone," it's kind of a pop record.
Yeah.
I'm actually singing the verses underneath him.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was singing so light, and I think they wanted him. I'm not sure if they wanted him to sing it over, uh, or he didn't have time. I have no idea why he wanted me, but it was a dope. So there's one there's one song in there, uh, that it's a record called "Pretty Kitty," and the hook goes, girl, you got me tripping. I'm addicted. The way you move that pretty kitty. Oh, me, girl, I'm strung out. And I can hold down. Come again. Come on. Hello? So you hear that? Hello? The voice.
Oh
So
wow.
watch this. So he's like, yeah, man, I love it, man. Send me the files, man. And don't forget the oh no, so we forgot to send him the hello. So he said, can you send me the female voice? And I looked at my boy. I said, what? He said, yeah, the hello. I said, oh man, I'm not about to tell this dude that was my voice. So we sent it to him anyway. If he ever hears this, this will be the first time he hear that it actually wasn't a female. Hello? He was supposed to get a female to do that part.
Oh man. I know if he ever see this interview, he'd be like, "Yo, man, pause, 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 bro."
Right.
And stuff. Now, from there, you work with Bobby Jones. Now, correct me, is that Bobby Jones gospel? Or that's
Yeah, Bobby Jones Gospel. I was at Teddy Riley's house. I never forget this. It's crazy because I've never even told these stories on how these records came about.
wow,
Man, I was actually in my spiritual bag at that time, like for real, for real. Teddy was upstairs and he wasn't feeling well at all. So he called me and told me about the project. But he told me about the project before um he was like wasn't like before, before he was sick or whatever. So he was upstairs and he wasn't feeling well at all. And next thing you know, I just started playing some chords and I didn't even know Teddy was sick. I remember that. I didn't even know Teddy was sick, and I did a record called Dr. Jesus. And
wow,
that was the first record I did, Dr. Jesus, and I did the track. So back then when I lived with Teddy, I would produce records and halfway produce it, but good enough for me to write the record. Then I would hand it to Teddy to say, hey, I don't like the track. I think the record could be dope. He would reproduce it. Now we got a record together.
oh wow, man,
So the second record was King of Kings, but shout out to my homie Bull Williams. You guys know him as Bull. He used to be Blackstreet's manager. Now he manages Keith Sweat. But his father, Quartet Group, rest in peace. His father actually sung. They actually featured on that record with Bobby Jones, Dr. Jesus. But and then the King of King records, man, if you hear that record, praise and worship record, beautiful, beautiful
wow.
record. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you come from a church background.
Yes, sir.
Like what did your family say? When they got the opportunity to hear that.
Wow. See, I don't tell that part of the story. That's
Uh
crazy.
oh.
So um so when I got the call, so I had moved back to my parents' house. My lease was up at my apartment, and I had moved back because I was going to go to barber college. And I got a call. My best friend got a call at his house, his parents' house, saying Harvey Austin called looking for me and looking for Fred. And his mom said, "Who is this?" He said, "This is Harvey Austin. This is." Their manager. Manager of what? R&B. I said, R&B. She said, R&B. R&B. So she called my mom and dad. Oh, she called my mom. She said, "You know that." Da, 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 da." My nickname is Junie. That's where the J came from. Junie singing.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And so my dad come in the room. My mom and my dad came in the room and said I was turning my back on God. I said, Dad, I said, at the age of 18, you know you didn't raise a lazy dude. I said, I've been working two jobs or cutting hair on the side. Like, I go get it. Like your dad, your son ain't, oh, you taking the what easy way out? I said, name one family member in our family that sings like I sing. I said, you did this. I woke up one morning and there was three keyboards in the corner. The other corner had a drum set. And y'all sung in groups around me, so there was microphones all over the house. What are we doing? Like you did this. I said, I'm not disrespecting you. I said, I'm not disrespecting mom, but if this is what made my dad walk out. And if you, all my friends, if once you see this, you're gonna be looking, and my family members, they're gonna be like, you said that to your dad? When I said this to my dad, I said, if you had my talent, you would do the same thing.
Wow.
He just like, he just walked out the door, and I don't know if he said you got to get out. Or, I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, but it's crazy. So my dad built my first recording studio booth for me. That was his way of saying, "I love you. I think I'm kind of proud of you." My mom came to a show in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she came there and her pastor said told her, go support your son. You don't have to support what he does, but go support your son. She came out there and saw, wow, this was awesome. And it happened. Shirley Caesar happened to be there. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. And she got on the mic and started singing. They said my mom was in the stands. Hallelujah. And I was like, yep, yep, yep. So she came down and loved it. Like, and that was a great experience. And that meant a lot for me, that she came to that show. My aunt came. She just lost her son, my cousin Sean, and I gave a shout out right after I did. We did No Diggity. I bowed and gave a shout out to him. So it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah. Now, speaking of you cut hair, like did everybody taught you how to cut hair? That was something like came out natural.
It's called when you're in middle school and your dad been cutting your hair all your life, and he's keeps putting it off, and you start thinking you're kind of cute, but hey, you woofing. Back then we call
Yeah.
it woofing. Like yo, shape up ain't been shaped up, and yo, like they picking, like they gonna pick. Come on, yo. So I started trying to cut yeah, that's what happened.
yeah,
Eighth or
back.
ninth grade, one of them grades, eighth or ninth grade. Zoop 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 zoop. It wasn't the best at first, but yeah.
Oh yeah, especially back in those days, like you had to keep your hair cut, man.
Come
I
on,
tell you, I
man.
went to school with some kids,
Yeah.
man.
So
Like the
nowadays,
sun, but they like to set off a South Central with the chili bowl.
and that look nowadays they letting it whatever. They letting whatever go. But back then we
Yes.
went, nah, you ain't letting whatever go. Nah.
Nah, you better not. Yeah, it's
Nah.
crazy, man. Cause I see some kids, man, their hair look like rainforest. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's the basketball, it's the athletes and the rappers who blame it on them.
Yep, they want to start that and stuff.
The kids are the products of what they see, man.
That's how it is and stuff, especially with they get like the hair cut around the sides and get it braided up. I thought to myself, I said, now immature started that, and then you got crisscross and all that.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah,
Right.
man, it's crazy how life kind of repeats itself
Yeah,
all over
absolutely.
again and
Absolutely.
everything. Now, like around what's it, 2014? You started your own production company and stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah. So 2014. Shoot, I think it's actually that was an old one. So now it's what was that on there? Was that Power Plug?
Yeah, Power Plug. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was when I opened my first studio. And shout out to my homie who's going through, he's battling something right now, but
Oh yeah.
uh,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
my homie Mr. Woods, that we
Mr.
we
Woods.
rocked
Yeah.
out. Yeah, we started our company together. Uh, yeah, his company was Outlandish, and my company was Power Plug, and we formed our first studio, which was Power Out Studios.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, that was a
That,
stomping ground. That's where my dad, I told you, made my first recording booth. Man, humble beginnings, and I got little pictures of that, man. All I had was a little laptop, and then I ended up with a desktop, but my speakers was like this big. We were in an office space that we had to sneak up there. My old manager, shout out to Rasan Smith, had to lie to them, tell them we only do voiceover commercials. So in the daytime, in 5 o'clock, I mean before 5 o'clock, we had to record with just headphones on, and then
wow.
and of course at the end of the when everybody left, we rocked out until another studio moved up there and they ruined it for us. Like yeah, but you know who you are. Playing
you,
music all loud on that. Come on, bro. You
you
got
know,
10-inch
too.
speakers up there in the office space, man. Come on,
Big facts.
man.
Because like you've been performing, with working with Teddy and other people, but during your career as a songwriter, producer, what motivated you to want to become a recording artist? And your first project was Christmas Without You. So, what kind of like led to that point at that time?
Ah, man. I was going through a transition, Christmas Without You. I was going through a transition, not relationship. The transition was actually um, some business partners. We went our separate ways. I was just talking about this not too long ago to another friend of mine. Shout out to 3D SVP St. Louis. Uh, we actually, at that time, I was going through a situation where I had to leave some people alone.
Wow.
And this was my first project. I did all my paperwork by myself. Shout out to my homie Lyric. I am a songwriter who actually did the paperwork wrong, but it was my first step of hey, let me do this. I was so scared. Yo, young artists out there, young brand new managers and producers. Like if you don't know the paperwork, research it. If you don't know, if you can't, you still can't find it. Get with someone who knows it. Like the paperwork is more I ain't gonna say more important than the music, but it is as important as the music and the work that you do. I promise you, unless you just want to do it for fun. And
Yeah.
of course that's what did it, but that's what motivated me. I wanted to do something different and by myself. And now the style of music, we had a couple of shows after that, and Dave Hollister it came out. I remember telling him, I said, "Hey, bro," he said, "Yeah, I like that Christmas record." I said, you inspired that, right?" I said, "I want you to go listen to it." Boom, zing, so, I said,
Wow.
"That's your vibe, bro. That's your vibe. How you sing, yeah." I said, "That's the Neil song." He said, "Oh wow." Yeah, bro. I said, "That's your." I channeled in on my Dave Hollister vibe on the bounce to that record. Yeah. So, and he's one of the dopest singers I've ever been in front, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dave Hollister.
And yeah, that Christmas joint with number 30, or it was in the top 30 on iTunes. That's huge, man. You
Thank
know
you,
what I'm
man. Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Because that's kind of around the time when people started to realize, like, you know what? It's what you got Billboard, but iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere else, it all counts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that artists started to realize that. It's like you heard it, you put like $500,000 trying to get your stuff on it, and you lucky you might crack the top 20.
Yeah, right, right,
And
right,
stuff.
right.
And now around 2016, you partnered up with Jamar to form Freedom Park. In 2016,
Jamar, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So how did the single "Cry for Peace" came about?
Oh wow. That's crazy. Because I don't really talk about the record. We just that whole project has been in limbo, just on a standstill.
Oh wow,
Yeah, but it's such a I still talk about we he and I spoke not too long ago, but that record actually was a record that he's a dope artist. He met me off of Thumbtack, and he was recording all. I think at a home studio, kind of wrong. So he came to me and loved my quality, loved my input to his records. Because people think Blackstreet and okay,
yeah,
old school R&B. When they until rappers come in and record me. Oh, yo, he's a producer. He can even produce rap. Like he not just the beat, but produce rap vocals. Like, and not just engineer, but hey man, give me some more of this. Hey, why don't we do this? Hey, I'm gonna do this to your vocals. Boom, boom, boom. But anyways, he's recording this record, and I love that. I said, man, I love it. The record was called like something gun control or something or whatever, and
Wow.
it was always a message. Every record that he did, it's always a message. And I said, hey, bro, I like the record. I tell you what, I think the verses is fire, but I think the hook could be stronger. And he said, well, how much would you charge me to write a hook? I said, I gave him the number. He said, I'll work on that. He said, man, I kind of got a splash of the hook in my head, like for real. So literally, I was driving on the way home and I just kept singing and singing it. And I literally, I think I recorded it at home, sent it to him. I don't know if he was crying. He was just like, oh my gosh, man. I kept singing, I'm crying, crying for peace. I'm crying, crying, crying for peace. And he was like, bro,
Wow.
oh my gosh. And then, I wrote the rest of the hook. And it's crazy. Shooting the video was awesome. The day before, or 2 days before the video, I had to sing the national anthem at a celebrity golf tournament, and I met a few cats from the news and some other people, and they was like, "Oh man, J-Stylz or Blackstreet, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. So what are you doing now?" And I told him about this. He's like, "Hey, can you come on the news and just announce it there and have people? I think this is awesome." So we sent an announcement out on the news, and this whole bunch of people came out there, and it was awesome for the video
Wow.
shoot. We were linked hands, and it was awesome. And then after that, we got a call from a rep from the United Nations to perform. They paid us pretty nice for one song, definitely nice. They flew us out to New York, put us up, and we performed it in a room of probably about 25 people, like reps of different countries.
Wow.
And we sung. It was really dope. Uh, but this is tells you how relationships and bitter relationships can go down. The link to that situation was an ex girlfriend of mine, and when we broke up,
Oh
that
wow.
situation was over. But we were supposed to been we were working on possibly sealing a deal as this record being a song anthem for the United Nations. So it was
Wow.
going to be a real big situation, and yep, sour love, broken heart. That's what happens. Yeah, man. So yeah.
Now, not too long from that, you dropped your debut album called Black Diary. With a
Well,
generation both new and old. Am I correct
Well,
on
I
that?
didn't drop the album yet. It was a few songs that I released. I did the Black Diary was the live show, the unplugged live show. Now all the records on there was supposed to have been from that album, but it was a live unplugged show. You guys go check it out. And in that live performance, this was during the pandemic as well. In the live performance, in between each songs, I actually speak on how each song was I was inspired to write it and how I came up with the production or whatever, or who I wrote it with, or all of that, or the complications on how I almost scratched the record and all of
Wow.
that. Yeah, so it's a dope show. It's crazy because I got a couple of bookings off that show. That's my I guess you say pilot or whatever I sent out
Yeah.
to uh, booking agents. So yeah, booking agents. If you want to book me, holla at your boy.
Now, you put out a single called Hitting Conversations. Now, around this time, everything started off good in 2020. That's the world shut down in the middle of March. What was going through your mind? Like, okay, what direction I should go where you can't really do too much? Everything was kind of
Oh
limited.
well, I actually was at Princeton Moon's house in Atlanta, and I went. Shout out to Princeton. I went to the gym with his lady, and at that time that was his artist. We were in the gym. I remember we working out, boom, 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 and we get back in the car, headed back, and her name is True. It's an artist slash writer. She looks at her phone. She says, "Man, isn't this some? This dude just texted me. There's got to be some Henny conversation." That's exactly what she said.
Wow.
And I said, "What did you say?" I said, "You know, everybody who knows, everyone who knows me knows when I start
Yeah.
staring or whatever, I'm writing. I said, oh, yo, yo. I said, soon as
Wow.
we get back, we writing that. We're writing that. Henny conversation. Do you know what that is? Oh my God. I like you know they know I'm dramatic when I come up. Oh my God. So I created the track. I did the track. We wrote she wrote the record. Well, I wrote, we wrote it together, but she wrote the bulk of it. And I demoed the whole thing. I wanted to be in my own element to record it, so I didn't want to record it in front of them. They all went upstairs. I said, I'm just not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be down here to write like 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning because I was having a bad vocal day anyway. So I was literally doing as my vocal clients know, my verbiage. I'm saying I did my
Yeah.
inner stretch and my bubble lips between every take, like all that inner stretch, taking water between just about every take, and I literally knocked that song out. Probably about around 5 o'clock. They woke up, came down, was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. Let's shoot a video." So I got with my choreographers in Charlotte. We rocked out. I was still on the road with Blackstreet, so I had to go back and forth with them. As they were sending me the tapes or whatever, the video. I was like, "Hey, now change it up to this. Change. I can't spin like that while I'm singing. Or I look crazy. Da da da." And helping to make it big, but they did an awesome job. Shout out to Nice and Kodak. And later on, I think that next month or next 2 months, whatever, we shot the video in New York. I mean, in Atlanta, and then
Oh man.
I flew out the next day to rock out with Teddy at a show, and then that next day he got received the star on the Walk Hall of Fame.
Oh man, I tell you, man, it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Look how God works in His own way and stuff, man.
yeah, man.
Now, like in 2021, you was featured on the chart topping single called "I Do" with Trinity, uh, Daddy, or something like that. I didn't want to say the name wrong,
Oh, no, his name is Marshall.
but
Marshall
okay,
Montana. Yeah, I forgot. I could be forgetting about that record. Yeah, he's a real big artist, very popular artist over there. Um, and I've been in some big shows. I think that was one of my favorite shows. I'm gonna tell you why. If you ever seen the movie Coming to America,
yeah,
so this hold on, let me tell you how the song came about. So this was during the pandemic. So all of Blackstreet was supposed to have been on this. Well, me, Dave Hollister, Rodney Poe, and of course Teddy. So Teddy sent me the track. He sent all of us. He sent an email saying, "Hey man, I want you guys to jump on the record, sing as much as you can." Boom, boom, boom. So I'm the only one with the studio. This is during the pandemic. So I record.
wow,
I said, "Hey, I done the background. What else you want me to do?" He said, "Well, do verse." He said, "Well, Jade, actually do the whole entire song and we'll just disperse the whatever, chop it up. If he's only gonna have you on the background, he's only gonna have Dave do this, do that, and Rodney do this, and me do this." I said, "Okay." He said, "But just do the whole thing." Dave couldn't, I think Dave couldn't get in the studio. Rodney, his engineer, I don't know, the vocals didn't come out the way he didn't like it. He was like, "Man, I don't, I ain't feeling this." So they wound up keeping me on the record. Come to find out, the final version only had Marshall Montana on the first verse, I'm on the second verse and the third verse, and singing all the ad libs at
wow,
the end. So the record is Marshall Montano featuring J-Stylz and Teddy Riley. But yeah, the show was crazy. So we performed it. It's about his wedding. That's what I do. It's about he married his wife, and the whole album is about his wedding. And he has a whole bunch of industry artists on the album. So it was an honor to be on that. But the show was so amazing. Amazing. Like I said, coming to America. You remember that scene where he had "She's your queen to be"?
Yeah.
Was it after or before that when do do digga do? Yeah, so before that they had it do digga
Oh
do.
yeah.
All the women doing all that. That's what was at this freaking. What they had people, men and women on stilts. It was crazy.
Hey.
It was so crazy. Stacy Barth, she sung there. Shout out to Stacy Barth. I knew her since she was 16. You guys Google her. One of the dopest writers and artists out here. Written for Beyonce, all of them cats, whatever. But yeah, man, yeah. So that's how that record came about.
Right. In 2022, you wrote and co-produced a single called "Dolls and Dollars." You
Oh
know, for
wow,
for the artist Samuel L or EI featuring Petey
Samuel,
Pablo. Samuel, yeah,
Samuel, Petey Pablo.
Petey
Yeah,
Pablo.
that record, that record sparked a great friendship with me and PD Pablo. Shout out to PD Pablo who just got honored in North Carolina as well, which
Oh
very
man,
deserved. Yeah, he put North Carolina on the map.
he
North
did, man.
Carolina, raise up, and then goodies with Sierra. Um, but yeah, that record. Shout out to Mary Patterson, who's the homie, my big sis as I call her. She reached out to my management at the time and asked, "Hey, I'm looking for someone, a great studio, to intern my son, and I would like to pay him." So I got the job, and I interned her son. And my idea was, "Hey, why don't we do a project?" And I'm so impressed on uh, his progress and where he is right now. Shout out to Samuel. Some know him as PJ as well. He's in a band. Shout out to Fifth Floor. He's in a alternative band. I get you to interview him as well in their
Okay, cool.
band. But after he finished with me, he actually went to college on to take some more courses or whatever. And now his whole music career is elevated. He's a violinist, and now plays guitar, uh, a little drums. That's how that project happened. Internship to that, yeah.
You know that you've been seeing how this music, has changed a lot over the years. When it comes to music sounds and artist vocability. And I had a conversation with his one brother a couple of weeks ago and stuff,
Uh oh.
and he was
Oh,
telling me
where's this going?
he was like, how come artists don't be? How come he's what he said? He said, how come there's a lot of artists don't be singing bridges, or like how like sometimes when like you can sing a song, it may not be written on paper, but they got like the whole extended version, and it just be going off. And
Well,
yeah,
I get that question. I used to get that question a lot. So there's some songs, and there's a lot of songs that I produced that actually now don't have bridges. There's some I'm producing and finishing a country artist 10-song project, and there's some songs that I have with her that are, you know, very big bridges. Some of them are two verses. Then, like I said, I got hip hop and rap or trap artists that I produce for, even R&B artists that I produce for that has two verses, and we out. It comes with first verse, a hook, second verse, hook, and we out. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. So either you pay attention to what the radio is playing, or you create a record with the bridge and they cut your song short on the radio,
wow,
or they stream. Here's the thing: we're playing on a field with a short time span,
yeah,
attention span. I'm sorry, and so the pros with that is like the cons with that is like, dang man, you're missing the element of what we used to do with music. Like we tell a story, and how can you tell a story in that short of time? That's the con. The pros in it is, wait a minute, it could be a marketing scheme. So now I want to hear it again. So now
yeah,
you get another stream, or you get another spin on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Because now the song is short, but I want to hear it again. The hunger to hear it again. That's what it was kind of explained to me a while back. So, eh,
yeah.
eh.
It's crazy how it kind of goes that format that type of way. I was always curious about that. It's like you got the old school fans that complain about it. Then it's like on the bit, it's like you said, on the get on radio, you had to like kind of like an edit version or like a redo version, just go from there
But
with it.
but here's the thing though. At the
Yeah,
end of the day, every industry has changes, and if you don't adapt to the changes, like movies are certain such and such,
yep,
or you have to say such and such, or whatever. Fashion. If you're not wearing this, then what are you doing? Like
yep.
so music. What music supposed to stay the same? When T Pain first came out, I remember getting a lot of calls. Man, you see that man? I said I like him. Why? You a singer singing? You like? I said I like his songs, bro. What are we talking about? We talking
Yeah,
about vocals or songs? The boy can sing for real, but he ain't trying to
yeah, he
sing on
can.
that. He trying to auto tune.
Yeah, yeah, you can actually see.
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's correct. Now, you as a producer, you're more like universal, where you can do R&B, country, hip hop, any type of style, gospel. You thought to yourself, like, I know, like, when people see a black man, he should always stick to one genre because it came from us. Even though all the genres came from us, but the way they kind of label as that, for anybody that made it right, they were shocked, be like, "What? You produce a rap record? You produce a country record? Like, wow, man." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
has it ever been like that?
music is music. I think I got more pushback uh from rap, not
Wow.
expecting rappers not expecting me to produce it until they heard it. They're like, "Oh, you did that? Oh, oh, I got a record that I did for this. Shout out to Peyton Best Night. I did for she's a Disney actress. I did a record. If you heard it, it's like Latin trap.
Wow.
Yeah, I played the keyboard guitars on it. Then took them off and sent it to my homeboy. I said, "Yo, play," and he played what he played on top of my drums and my keys and everything I did. And it's and she's talking Spanish in the beginning of it.
Wow.
It's crazy. Everybody here's like, "Oh my god, yo, you did that?" I said, yeah, bro. Like produce, like produce.
Wow. It's crazy how like the trap sound has evolved. It went from hip hop to R&B, now to Latin. I'm like, man, like how far can it go? And
Oh,
stuff.
there's country trap too.
Oh
On this
wow.
project with this 10 song project I got like two country trap records on that I
Wow.
produced on a record. Yeah. The rest of it is like regular country, but I got two country trap records. At the end of the day, man, music is like shifting into it's like I mean, of course, you got the Beyonce who
Yeah.
did country, so she pushed it. But then you got what's his name, Lil Nas X. You know what I'm saying? All these people who kind
Yeah.
of like tiptoed in the country field, and you got pop artists who tiptoed in the R&B field. Like so now everything is kind of like mixed up, and it is what it is. My thing is, as long as it sounds good, feels good, complain why? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
So, absolutely. You know, for you, what's it like to perform with Teddy Riley on stage? It's the same person you see, on TV,
Hmm.
and to be like, wow, man, I'm on a stage with an icon. Brother who produced songs for Michael Jackson, his own self, and everybody, man. What kind of goes through your head when you first started performing with him back then?
the the year 2004. I had 1 month to get ready for my first show. He leaves me in the house in Virginia Beach by myself. Um, I had Mark and Eric would come to the house and check up on me, or we hang out or whatever, or we would go over practice and go over something. They would
Yeah,
always ask me, "You good? You need some vocals? You need me to do some more moves, or we you good?" I thought, nah, man, I got with the video tape y'all sent me. I'm good. I'm good. So here we go in Connecticut. I will never forget it. We're in Connecticut. We get out the car. I see this woman. She's in a dope, nice, crazy expensive dress. You can say she gets out the car, whatever, and she's "Hey, Teddy," and we walk. Da, da, da. So we go on stage. And I said, man, she looked familiar, familiar. I don't know who she was. So get up there, and here comes the curtain. Bear in mind, we've been practicing all this time, and
Right.
I'll never forget. The time is now. Crank the ship, whatever. Eric Williams, are you ready? J-Stylz, you ready? Cool. And at this time, I'm looking like, oh God. Bear in mind, I've been living for a whole month with these cats. It's
Yeah.
cool. I'm cool. But now I'm hearing the crowd roar, and then they go dumb when the curtain starts and they see our feet, and it's a wrap, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay, get ready, come on, you got this, you prayed for this, come on. And I just jumped out on stage, and we had to had to go. And then he calls Bobby Brown on stage, and I said, oh, that was Whitney Houston out there. Oh my gosh, that's when I knew, okay, this is really real. And then after the show, I get a little lit, and it was crying with alcohol in me. Thank y'all, man. Y'all, y'all didn't have to choose me, man. Y'all could have chose anybody, man. Thank you. So yeah, it was an honor, man. It was an honor. It was an honor.
I know. Looking back at that moment, it's like, wow, man, I finally arrived, man.
Yeah, man. It was a real big rush, and I could have like froze.
Yeah.
And I think I always tell people, especially my young people, that if you pay attention to where you are right now, what God is doing for you right now, He's actually preparing you for your next level. And so many points in my life where He put me as a lead singer, or He put me to do this, or uh, I used to go, Dalvin Devante's father was my pastor uh,
Okay.
at Christ Gospel here in Charlotte, and he used to call me up out in the middle of his sermon if he saw me talk. Oh, you want to talk? Come up here and sing something there real quick. And I had to run up there and just sing or do a run. And all
Wow.
these times while everybody looking at me and whatever, all of these things, I didn't have to. I tell people all the time, I did not have time to be shy. I didn't. I did not have time to be shy, and because people expected me to be something. And trust me, I had plenty of time. A lot of people say, oh, you just get scared, but man, Teddy didn't let me be scared, because when he expected me to be better, he would tell me, you're not doing enough, you're not doing enough, but you need to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, I thought I had a good show, they clapping, what are we doing? Yeah. And then it clicked on me. I know who I have to be now. I get it. And Father God, I would not disrespect the fact that you gave me this moment right here. No, I got you. Okay, I got you, God. Boom. Let me do this for real, for real.
Absolutely and stuff. When you look back on your life and stuff, you ever think about a little boy that was afraid to sing R&B,
Mhm.
and to see where you are now and stuff, you're like, wow, man, here I was, you know, dreaming, and here I am now. You know what I'm saying?
All the time. All the time when and I'll tell people this all the time when I used to stick my head in my bass drum so I could hear the acoustics and just ring out while I was singing. And then I tell people this. I tell people this. I had this thing when I would sing in the mirror, and I had this real vision that was literally steady on over and over. I imagined that I was going to be sitting in the audience of a superstar. Uh, and I had to sing his song. So my high school students, my friends would tell you, I would sing people's song and never sing it the same way they sung it. I would remix it my own way. It's crazy because that's
Wow.
why I vocal train and do all these vocal arrangements. But I had this vision that while I was in the audience, that singer was going to give me the mic. And at that moment, when he or she gave me the mic, I need to make this crowd forget in this moment that this is his or her song, that I owned it. And when he takes or she takes that mic back, she need to be doing this. I literally had this own so every time I sung somebody's song, in the tick, be my sunshine after the rain, all of these, I would sing it differently. My mind's telling, like all of that. Let me pick you up, control. Like I would literally like, I gotta sing this differently. I gotta be me. That's why I always tell people own your song and own who you are as an artist, and make sure you become someone that no one can duplicate. That's why if you
Exactly.
see me on stage, you see me hitting them crazy high notes, you see me spinning on the floor, and you see my face go like that, or maybe some tears falling out. I'm giving you 1,000% of who I am, 1,000%, everything in me and extra.
Man, before we wrap it up, if you can, brother, man, if you can sing us a verse, say,
I didn't
you
suck
know,
at that.
yeah, because say like we
I
gotta
didn't
have like a little
suck.
mini concerts in between, bro. It could be any song that pops in your head.
Oh man. Oh. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I sing this song that I auditioned to be in Blackstreet.
Uh,
No. You're such a special lady, yeah. Though I haven't told you lately. Let me be the first to let you know I love you so. You're such a special lady, though I haven't told you lately. Yeah. Let me be the first to let you know I love you so. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, give it up for J-Stylz.
Ah.
Man, just want to say, man, my brother, thank you for taking the time to come on here. Big shout out to Miss B for making this interview, happen, as always. And before you get off here, what you got going next?
Ah. Headed out for rehearsal with Teddy on the 27th. What is that? Next Tuesday. We got a show in Baltimore on the 7th. I'm home back on the 8th. Then I'll start my own rehearsal. I have a show by myself on the 22nd, on the 26th in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm working on a few new records. I'm gonna have fun with the marketing. What I'm gonna do in Charlotte, all around the city. Once I complete these records, I'm gonna have fun. Of course, every single day I'm working on projects for Jay Renee, uh, a couple of artists out here that's really doing some stuff. A lot of independent artists. It's a lot of talent here in Charlotte, and on the outskirts. I always tell artists. Um, of course, you guys heard Jay
Yeah.
Gallant, Green Light or whatever. Shout out to him. Woo, 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 woo. I wrote and produced that one for that kid who really owned that record. But I vocal train here around here, and I vocal train online for artists out of the states, whatever, out of the country. Sometimes there's a delay, but yeah, I produce. Anybody want to work with me? Reach out to me. I just booked a client that's coming flying in from Atlanta in a few months. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work.
Absolutely,
Let's work.
man. And when you do see Teddy, man, tell him to come on the show, man.
And you know what? Hmm. I tell you what. Call me on the 27th that night. Maybe I don't know. That might be. Maybe you could interview all of us. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just call me and maybe I don't know. Maybe you can work it out.
Okay, cool, man. Shoot, it could be like a video chat, whatever it is. I could have it right here on here, man. So that's cool, man.
Yeah, maybe we can work it out. But call me on the 27th at night.
Okay, cool, man. That's a bet. Man, with that being said, thank you, my brother, for coming on here. Big shouts to everybody that, chimed in this live interview and stuff. So with it being said, we out of here.
Peace.
Peace.